guys, Roxanne here from Tiny Home Living. Well, I am in the greenhouse, obviously, well, slash storage room slash sewing room. It is just starting to rain as we were about to go outside and get to work, but we're going to try and get some stuff done around here today. Again, the weather's really dropping in temperature, so now we're in full-on panic mode. But before I get started with today, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. We really appreciate it. Let's go outside and I'll show you what we got yesterday. I have been trying on Marketplace for months to get a window for the chicken coop. So we went to get this window, $50. As you can see, the fins are cut off, the nailing fins, but that's not a big deal for Chris. He installed windows for 30 years. We picked this one first, and we thought, wow, that's in such good shape. We will use it for the bedroom window that's going to go in the end of this shipping container, because this end is the bedroom, and we can use it for a bedroom window. That'll give us lots of light and lots of airflow. And we picked the one with the thinner jamb, the 4-inch jamb, to put in the chicken coop. I have won the argument with Chris about putting it in the south wall. I'm thinking, like the greenhouse, that will help heat the greenhouse when the sun is out, or not the greenhouse, the chicken coop. So we're going to put it in this wall after he's got it nicely painted and everything. And of course, the hole we cut in this wall will now have to be filled in. I'm actually hoping that the sun coming up at 4 or 4:30 in the morning in the summertime will not have them crowing at 4:30 in the morning. Because the sun is coming up and shining in this one. I'm thinking it'll delay it a bit. That's just my way of thinking, but anyway, we'll see if that works. Doesn't really matter either way. And I'm hoping with having the bigger window in the south side, it's actually going to give them a lot of sunlight during the winter, which will help with the egg production, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I see I've got to go and get a bunch of the leaves off the nets up there too, but that can wait for now. So pretty excited about getting that window. I have literally tried for months. You know, you contact someone on Marketplace, it's either available or it's way so far away that it's not worth the drive to go get it, especially with the cost of diesel and driving this truck. So we saved a few $100s by getting the bedroom window, and this one was only $50 as well. So you really can't beat that. And they really do need the airflow. That's why we cut that hole in the chicken coop, because when it was super, super hot, they were just sweltering in there and they did need some airflow. So we have decided to, instead of center this on the wall, it's almost the whole width, we're just going to put it at the edge of the first stud, make it super easy, and we're putting the bottom of the opening where the cut in the plywood is. It's a chicken coop. Normally I would be all concerned about it not being centered and everything, but at this point in time I just don't care. Take the roosts down, and that means we're under pressure to get this done because the chickens do not like it when you mess with their roosts. I finally got them trained to go in here to the new roosts. So now we need to get these studs zipped out and a frame built for the window. We're just going to put cripples under it. We're not going to build a header, and there's not much weight on this, so we're not putting a header in as well. Normally you would for any window, especially that size window. dead batteries. We got chargers going everywhere. So what we're going to do, so we don't have to take these perches down again, is measure up, get the solid insulation in this wall. That way we do not have to take the perches out again to get this wall done. So we're going to measure up right now. These should all be the same size, and that'll help make it a little quicker and get this insulation done while we're waiting for the batteries to charge. What are you doing, Snoopy? Look how nice her feathers are. One of them is, this one's looking really good, and the other one's been getting pecked on her wings. So Chris had put a lumber tarp down on the floor to keep the floor dry, but also make it easier. We just dragged the tarp out, put it in the compost. We're taking this brooder box apart. We've got the one on this side to use if a chicken's sick or injured. So we're just going to take this one apart and keep the parts exactly the way they are. And put them in the barn. And then we're going to have the coops go across, or the perches go across this way. Some of the hens keep perching on the lid of this when it's hooked up. So we'll put a perch along here, and then that'll make everybody happy. Lots of room for everybody. These feathers all coming in just in time for winter. Chrissy's getting better too. She didn't have as much missing feathers as Betty, so it's nice to see the girls all getting filled in now that the roosters are locked up. We gotta lock up some of those young ones, don't we, Crabby Betty? Got that box out of the way, got this swept out. So now we'll measure up for insulation and get those perches back up. And we gotta get this screwed in place. My, now we're under pressure. But we've got to get the roof insulated too. So lots to do to get this side done. And the best part is, the whole compost has a huge layer of chicken poop and shavings. This is going in the south garden next year, so this is going to be an awesome batch of compost. So we just put a couple of cripples in underneath to support the weight of the window, but that's really all we're doing is supporting the weight of the window. Like I said, we're not putting a header in, we've just put this up here to frame the window to give Chris something to screw the jamb into. The fins are missing, so he's basically screwing from the jamb into the window frame that he's built. And then just reinforcing this for the weight. I don't know if he wants more cripples under these or not, but we'll see. I might need the hammer. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Lighting's pretty bad in here. That piece is just for the other side of the window frame. Just gotta put a couple screws in these cripples that we put underneath.
Okay.
Okay, we're just gonna go get the window and we're gonna set it from the outside. Got to figure out how much we want to leave it sticking out so we can put trim around it.
Oh, if you put on some setting blocks, I guess. You got all of it?
Yeah, I got it.
That's about for the thinness there.
Yeah. Setting blocks. Looks pretty good. So we've got 1 inch here. So we'll put 1 inch trim. This is all 1x4, so that'll work out good for putting 1 inch trim around there, I think. Like I say, this is the south wall, so that's going to let a lot of sun in the winter, which I think will help with egg production, but also help to warm the coop. The girls just love having all these dead leaves to dig in. That's Henrietta, the new little girl that's supposed to be a broody hen. I don't even think I'm getting eggs from her, unless she's hiding them somewhere. Hey, Henrietta? No freeloaders. We don't need any more freeloaders around here. Look at this pretty girl. Oh, gone. And Buddy's tail is looking so pretty now that the bad boys aren't pulling it out. Pulling your feathers out of your tail, weren't they? So I had a little brainwave. We went to look at linoleum to put in the coop floor, because a lot of people do that to make clean out so much easier. Chris had a lumber tarp in there this time. Did great at keeping the floor from getting so wet. But I was just thinking, we got a whole box with numerous sheets of countertop material in the old sea can. And I kept getting discounts on it. It was always coming in broken, so we got discounts on it, and that's what we used in the current tiny house. So I was thinking, like, why don't we just use that? It was going to cost us hundreds of dollars for remnants of linoleum, which there's no way I'm paying that for a chicken coop. So decided to get this stuff out, and we're going to see if we overlap a couple of sheets of this, if there's enough to do the coop. I know, this is countertop material. If you're buying it new, but I got it like severely discounted because UPS delivered it all the time to the store, and it was always broken. So I got a big discount on some of it, and we've got so much of it, we're just going to use some of it up, and it'll save us hundreds of dollars again, and get, you know, it'll be a really good shiny surface for cleaning out the chicken coop. And it's just taking up a huge amount of space in the old shipping container, so. You just score it over and over and over again, and then it just comes apart at the seam when you bend it. And this is a special blade and this utility knife for doing these laminates. This big piece left over, a whole 4x8 sheet rolled up there, and little pieces if we ever need to redo our countertop. So still got lots left over, and just saved another few $100. This is just going to use the shop vac to do a quick vacuum on this because of the dust. We need to put some sort of adhesive. We're just going to use whatever we have. Get the laminate to stick down half decent. So So Chris found a tube of this in the stock. So that's what we're going to use around the perimeter and at the seam. And then we're going to weight it down. So we're going to put the first sheet in going that way, and then this one overlapping, because then when you're shoveling that way, you're not jamming into the seam all the time. So we got the first piece in. We're actually going to use that piece that's about 4 by 4. Oops, up there. I'm going to cut it in half and do that edge of the wall. It's not quite, by the time we overlap this piece, it's not quite wide enough. And we'll probably never ever use it. So, got the first sheet down. Chris got the wood around the edge to hold it down while the adhesive. Yeah. Which side's it?
My side.
Oh, okay. Looks like a countertop for chickens to poop on. You want me to stomp on the other side? Well, it is starting to rain fairly hard. So I just got some of the tools out of the rain. Obviously we're not going to get insulation done today. Getting this flooring down, climbing it down, and then the window in. We'll get the perches put back up so the babies can go to bed and everybody will be happy. I guess we'll work on insulation tomorrow. Well, I've got a bunch of blocks to weight it down on the seams. Hopefully it will stick good. Hopefully. I mean, if we had to, we could put some screws in it, but sure don't want to. Look at all that light. Chrissy's the first one checking everything out because she's snoopy, aren't ya? Hey, what's going on, Chrissy? We'll take these blocks out of here tomorrow. We'll get some insulation in. Obviously, we're not going to have time. I always think I'm going to get more done than I do, but I started cutting insulation for in here, measuring up. And we will get that wall done first, and then I will put a bunch of shavings in here tomorrow. Get this wall done, obviously, and we will be able to use up a bunch of the skinny pieces left over from the greenhouse up there in the eaves. And then, of course, we got to get the ceiling done too. It's not that cold that we have to worry about this so much. We've got the window in, got the floor done, got the perches back up, and then maybe tomorrow we'll get another perch put across here too. That'll make the girls happy.